This is the Infinite Receiving Podcast, helping conscious leaders like you tap into a wealth of abundance across all areas of your life and business. My name is Susie Ashworth. I am a single mom of 3 and author of the Sunday Times best-selling book, Infinite Receiving: Crack the Code to Conscious Wealth Creation and Finally Manifest Your Dream Life. On this show, I'll be sharing with you how you can upgrade your identity and your reality to create the life that you have been dreaming of. Because you are ready to be an infinite receiver. Hello, you gorgeous human beings. It is Susie Ashworth here, and you are listening to the Infinite Receiving Podcast. And I'm actually in a really good place, mood. I'm not high. I'm level, and that feels really good to say. And I'm going to talk you through exactly why now. But first of all, I suppose I want to start with, we at Susie Ashworth HQ have been putting a really dedicated, specific, intentional focus on making sure that all of you guys and everybody who is new to my world knows that we have a coaching certification. And that feels really good. And from a business perspective, that has been just super powerful, like not hiding anything behind the scenes. It also means that just personally, I have put even more attention and intention to how I have been showing up for myself and how I have been using my own tools and teachings and really looking to see where I am walking the walk and where there is another level of elevation for me to be a world-class coach, which in my eyes means being a world-class leader. I think that the two are synonymous now. When we are doing our masterclasses, I am talking about good managers versus good leaders who are ultimately coaches. These are people that are able to come from a place of really embodied wisdom and able to dance between the intellect and their intuition and really help to motivate and inspire people into their own transformations so they can show up in their fullness, so they can honor their fullest potential. So if you're a world-class coach, you're a world-class leader. If you're a world-class leader, you have to be a world-class coach. And one of the things that I have said for probably almost a decade is that all leadership starts with self-leadership. So this is where, again, I get to look at myself in the mirror and ask myself, how am I leading myself? And when I ask that question for me, again, I'm always thinking about you guys as well. And it really occurred to me today that not everybody associates themselves with the word leader. Like, we can create this really big picture about what it means to be a leader. Unless we're talking about being on the world stage, then maybe it doesn't apply to us. And it was so clear and apparent to me this morning, like, we are all leaders. Whether you want to impact 100,000 people in your lifetime, sell 1 million books, have a viral TEDx talk, or you are the leader in your family. You are the person who puts the best foot forward in your community. You are there making sure that the PTA gets their shit together. It doesn't actually matter what role you do. You always have to lead yourself. And if you're listening to this podcast, it is almost impossible for you to not be leading other people, your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your mother, your father. It is almost impossible for you to not be a model for somebody else, a leader for somebody else. So all leadership starts with self-leadership. We all have to lead ourselves. And the likelihood is, if you're listening to this, you're leading at least one other person. So this is an invitation into being more self aware when it comes to owning the identity of a leader. Because if you are somebody that that word doesn't naturally resonate with, and you choose to adopt it, you choose to bring this into your own unique identity kit, it's going to change the way that you stand. You can't say, I am a leader and be all hunched over. You're going to roll your shoulders back. You're going to puff up your chest. You're going to lead from your chest. It is going to influence the way that you speak and how you respond to difficult situations. If I'm a follower or somebody who is a victim of my circumstance, I react to the environment that I am placed in. If I am a leader and I've committed to a leadership level of self awareness, I respond, I don't react. And I create the environment by the presence that I bring to it. Joe Dispenza talks about switching from the Newtonian model of cause and effect to causing an effect. That's where you're at when you really decide to lead yourself first. So, the reason I'm sharing all of this is because one of the things that I am really focused on at the moment is elevating my levels of energy. I am currently like in the thick of the perimenopause, and I'm in this interesting place of wondering, being curious about how much of my energy dips are due to hormonal changes, how much of it is due to just not getting enough sleep, being able to eat better, being able to move my body in different ways at different times of the day. I'm in this analysis piece. And honestly, I've been in the analysis and then ignoring, in the analysis and then being busy, in the analysis and then getting distracted, and not really doing anything about it. And today, specifically, I'm actually taking the kids away for the weekend, which is going to be really, really lovely. I'm setting that intention that it's going to be really, really lovely. And I say that because I am dealing with, well, one tween, one teenager who are in it right now. So I am going to hold the vision that it is going to be a really lovely weekend. In order for us to have any chance of that, I have to be able to manage my energy. And it occurred to me that that is something that I have not been giving proper intention to. And so today, in my affirmations, I wrote, I am becoming a master of my energy. And it took me back to a couple of years ago when I was prepping for Infinite Receiving Live. And it's the last time I remember my energy being so big and expanded. I was cold plunging every day. I was fasting like a girl. I was really just looking after myself in a way that I don't think I'd ever done before. And I really felt it in every cell of my being. And it's interesting, even saying this out loud, and this is why the perimenopausal piece is interesting, because I'm like, I wonder if I was just doing all of those things, would I even be considering HRT? Would I need to be looking at that? And I know for all of the midlife specialists out there, you're going to say you need to get your hormones checked and then you can make an informed decision. I understand. And I am very, very committed to really rewriting this story around my energy. And so it's going to take a little bit of everything, I think, at this stage. But this morning, after I set the intention, I noticed myself feeling a little bit irritated after an interaction that I'd had with somebody. And part of being a master of my energy is really being aware and intentional with my emotions, because that type of irritation becomes an energy vampire when you're not bringing your conscious awareness to it. It either sits there festering, marinating in itself, waiting for something else to activate it again. You just keep activating and activating and activating until suddenly you end up disproportionately reacting to something that is just no big deal. Or you bury it and you pretend that everything's hunky dory and you don't deal with it. And that still is an energy suck because it takes a level of energy for you to contain emotions and feelings and stories that you are not willing to let go of. And when you're using energy to contain those stories and emotions, that is robbing you of your own creative energy, of your life force energy. And so when I felt this feeling of irritation, I was like, mm-mm-mm, we are not sitting with that today. You are going to need to release it. And what was interesting is in the moment that I committed to releasing the emotion, where my mind went to is, yeah, but why? What's going on here? What's the story? And this is where the increased self awareness has to come in because the story is irrelevant. I was having lunch with a client who is now a friend yesterday, and we were sharing stories and we were laughing at how psychotic we both sounded in the sharing of our stories because, with hindsight, we were able to see how our reactions to certain experiences that we were going through at the time completely distorted our perspective on truth and what was happening. And whilst we were giving extreme examples, this is what happens every single day. I will do a masterclass. There will be 50 people on, 100 people on, and every single one of those people will be having a different experience of the words that I share. And my team will be on. And at the end, I'll ask them, how did that feel for you? And they'll be like, oh, it was amazing. Well, this was good and that was good. And I thought this was better and that was better. And I'll be like, oh, God, I thought it was shit. Who's right? Who is right with all of those different opinions? Nobody is, because all of our opinions are colored by the context that we are engaging in the situation with. So the story that you're telling yourself, the story that I could have told myself about why it was valid for me to be irritated was bullshit. This is called self awareness. And it is so freeing, actually. It is liberating to commit to releasing the story from a place of knowing that whatever story you are telling yourself about being right comes from a place of distortion. It is freedom for you to say, it doesn't really matter why I'm feeling what I'm feeling in this moment. Like when you're ready to release it, it doesn't really matter why I'm feeling what I'm feeling because the story that I'm telling myself about why I'm feeling this way or why I need to be right is distorted. Now, this is not me asking you to deny your lived experience in any way, shape, or form. It is about me asking you, are you ready to be your most energetically vibrant self? I am not talking about deep, deep trauma that needs time and space for you to explore in order for you to allow things to be released. And what is also true is, even in those cases, there will come a point where it is no longer helpful for you to keep going over and over and over and over and over your perspective of the story. I'm sorry, don't shoot the fucking messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. There is always your truth, the other person's truth, and then what really happened, which will be somewhere in between. So, I have this awareness that I am irritated. I have this awareness that that is going to suck my energy, and I want to get to the end of the day feeling calm and relaxed and easeful. And that means I have to be on it with my energy management today. So I start to go through a somatic process, which the top level actually is in the Infinite Receiving book. It's called the Emotional Release Tool, where you find where the emotion is in your body, you give it a shape, you give it a color, and then you start to breathe. Inhale through the nose and exhale at least twice as long through the mouth. And as I'm doing this, my awareness shifts to what is underneath the irritation, and that is disgust. And again, my mind is like, but what are you disgusted about? I'm like, it's irrelevant. I don't need to know, but I do get to release. And I really just listen to the wisdom of my body. And this turned into a loud and visceral, powerful somatic release, which just went on for 6 minutes. And Penny was sat on the sofa just looking at me like, what's she doing? As I'm dribbling and shouting and toning and moving my body and shaking and jumping and just really following the wisdom of my body when it came to knowing what it needed to do in order to release this disgust. And I hit 6 minutes and there was peace. That feeling had gone. And I allowed it to pass through because I was more committed to my peace than my righteousness. In order for you to be at your most energetically vibrant and magnetic, you have to be more committed to your peace than your righteousness. Are you open and available for that? Because if you are, and it's not always 6 minutes, sometimes it could be 25 minutes, sometimes it could be 45 minutes, sometimes it is 1 minute. But if you are available for that, it's fun to think that 6 minutes can change your life. This for me is why coaching the way that we do it is so fucking sexy. This is why I feel so enthused about what it is that we get to do on a daily basis. And this is why I encourage you, even if you never think that you ever want to charge for coaching, you learn these tools. You learn these tools to create a level of liberation in your life, which is not accessible to you when you are stuck in your story and reacting to life instead of creating it. So, if this speaks to you and you want to find out more about these tools, please drop me a DM on Insta, saying Coach Ready, or email me on hey@susieashworth.com, subject Coach Ready. And either myself or one of the team will drop you a line and just have a chat about what it is that is interesting to you about coaching, whether it's for your own personal growth or whether it's something that you want to use to develop your business, develop other leaders, make more money, make more impact. We don't mind. We just want as many people as possible to have these tools and be living from them on a daily basis. The world is crying out for emotionally regulated and intelligent leaders, whether that is leading in the home, leading in the workplace, leading wherever. There's got to be more of us. So, with that being said, if you have enjoyed this episode, do me a favor and share it on your Insta or with a friend, somebody who you think would benefit, get value from what I've shared today. I would love you forever. And in the meantime, I look forward to being in your earbuds next week. Please remember, faith plus action equals miracles.
Thank you for listening to Infinite Receiving with me, Susie Ashworth. I'd love to share with you my Infinite Receiving activation audio. Go to susieashworth.com/activate infinite receiving.